Okie dokie. Let's get this going here. Oh, I forget. Turn this down a little bit here. Let's get this guy going here. And let's get this going over here. And of course I gotta turn that TV down. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I yanked it pretty good when I did that. Maybe. All right. Alrighty. Well, today we're going to do a pretty simple painting. Well, what size is this? It's not very big. It's I don't know, it's probably 12 by 14 inch watercolor paper, probably 12 by 16 maybe, with foam board. Okay. All right. A waterfall, some green deciduous trees, and some rocks, blah blah blah, one of those type deals. Okay. So we're just gonna get right on to it here. Okay, let me do something here with this live chat, because sometimes it acts a little funny. Here we go. All right, what I got down below on your lower right hand side is craft paint, all except the yellow. Okay, it's just white, dark blue, black, and some yellow. That is all. All right, and we're gonna kind of work some magic with those colors. If I need anything else, I'll obviously put it in accordingly. All right. Okay. So we're gonna get right on with this. I think I hear the cat creeping in there. Craft paint and glycerin are not the best of friends, because craft paint is really loose to begin with. All right, so I might just use water just to hey, how you doing, Bill? Hello, Jessica, how are you? So we're gonna use a wee bit of, hey, Rosemary, hello, Merry Christmas back, good to see you. So we're gonna use, once again, some craft paint. I don't think I'm going to use too much glycerin, because glycerin and craft paint are not the best of friends. Okay, because they're almost the same consistency. It's just craft paint might be a little bit looser, so you really wouldn't need it to thin it out when it's already thin. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's get to getting. Once again, I think I'm going to just use water. So I'll bring my little water thingy, my little water cup right there. You guys can pretty much see it. All right, not the cleanest of water, but that's all right. Don't need it to be for what we're gonna do. I should have cleaned my brush a little bit better. That might stain, but it's all right. Okay, once again, this is watercolor paper, so the water obviously is gonna sink through a little bit, but that's all right. I'm not gonna go totally below all the way down. I only need a little bit of it, all right, in there. Okay, we're gonna get it a little bit of this craft paint, a little bit of this white, a little touch of blue in that white, just for the sky. Once again, this paint is fairly thin in itself. You guys don't see the sketch, I have. I'm going to go a little bit below the tree line. Once again, this is very thin paint. So, and when I'm working with water, you're going to have to be a little brisk with your painting, because you're doing it with water, and obviously water evaporates. Okay, so once again, not really too much as far as sky color is concerned, or putting in clouds or anything like that. It won't matter much. Once again, you work rather briskly using water, because it's only going to stay wet so long, especially with watercolor paper. All right, but it does have to go quite a bit below the tree line, so you can see little bits of the trees and such. All right, so what you see here is, that's really good enough. Actually, I don't have to really put any semblance of clouds or anything like that in there, because we take it up by a lot of the foliage. Okay. I should be. Hello, Maria. How are you? I know you. Hey, Vermont. What's going on? I know that Miss Maria enjoyed going to her native Puerto Rico by all those wonderful pictures she sent of flowing water, waves, and rocks, and monuments. Yes, I've seen them. I was checking them out. I was looking. Let's get some. We're gonna flesh out the where the rocks are gonna be. Okay, and so even though I usually will wet the brush first, get the bristles, get the bristles a little loose there. I'm just using a flat brush here, 3/4 inches long handle flat brush. And once again, I'll just paint in the rocks using black. Okay. One is I'm doing it for the sake of time and all that good stuff, because I should be rehearsing, practicing for rehearsal tonight. But no, I'm painting. I am painting. I should have did this earlier on, but I didn't. Okay. We'll go down below a little bit. It's all right. And then we'll add that in there. I'll add the detail, obviously, to the rocks a little bit later, but right now I'll just kind of fill it all in. This would be another nice project to do if you were doing a class. Okay, it would have its depth and all that stuff in those technical little terms that we usually talk about. This will be perfect in a painting like this. Okay, once again, I'm just blocking all of this in. I'm not using canvas, I'm just using watercolor paper on foam board. And watercolor paper is porous, obviously, and so this stuff will sink in and dry. No glycerin or anything like that, because of the thinness of the paint, including this black. It's also craft paint. So we're doing a craft paint painting today. All right, just dipping into more black. I know it looks like I might have a little more black than I necessarily need, but not quite. Bring it down, curve it around in here. Something like that. Now, when it comes to adding the other objects in here, obviously there's going to be a few corrections as we do this, and that's fine. And we will go back over some of this. Right now, I'm just, once again, just blocking things in. Block it right in. Not a very difficult painting to do. Even if, you do a painting like this just to kind of unwind or relax, even before you do another more challenging painting. Doing a painting like this will work wonders for you. I'll hit the focus button for you guys. All right, as I'm looking, I think we're somewhat pretty good here. Okay, all right, let's get rid of this. So before I move on any further, I'll take this same brush. Hey, Sonia. Yes, I tell your mom I wear that title well. Oh man. Yes, I do wear it well. Once again, no glycerin, so I'll just use a little bit of water just to loosen up the paint. I'm getting a bluish gray. And we're going to block in where the waterfall is, which will be right in here. You get the waterfall obviously a little bit below the rocks because you don't want your waterfall spilling into the rocks. That's just a bad look. Something like that. Okay. All right, get a little bit more blue, get a little black. Once again, we're just gray it up here. But you still want it more on the bluish side, okay? I'm gonna get a little water because I'm not using glycerin because it is thin paint. Okay. And once again, we're just blocking in the water right now. Just block it in. Block in some of that darkness there. Just like so. Doesn't have to be picture perfect at this stage. That comes later. Right now you're just blocking all of that in. It's all right. I'm not going all the way down with it. Something like that. Kind of. Once again, just block in the water. All right. Okay, we can use some of, I'll put some more water in there. We use some of this with some blue, and we'll just kind of block in the water also. And it's just mainly just filling all of this, just with the dark color there. Just like that. Going around and we're just blocking in the water. A lot of these streaks could help for waves or whatever you would want in it, some turbulence, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. We're just blocking it in for right now. All right, just block it right in. That's fine, just like that. All right, okay, okie dokie. Rob, what's happening, bro? How you doing? Okay. Now, the trees. I want to... We'll use a sponge because the sponge is 1 billion times faster. All right. I don't know if I want to use this one. I think I'll use the other one. Yeah, I'll use this guy. We're gonna mix. We're gonna just make our own green. All right, I'll use the black and orange. It'll make a nice deep green. We're gonna need something like that anyway. So I'll just put it in here. Get some black. Pop the black in there like this. Makes it very. See how deep that? No, you can't see it because I got a bowl of water in the way. Just put it over here. All right, you see how deep that green is right in here. Okay, I didn't wet the sponge or anything, so. But I'm gonna get it a little deeper, so that just adds some more black, just like that, really deep green. All right, I'm using a very simple color palette, so there's no way you can get this wrong. Now, I usually do the tops of the trees first because I want it to look like a bird can fly right through it. So I'll concentrate on the tops of the trees first. Come down here, and if you notice, I am doing it in a way where some of that light, some of the sky comes through. Okay, just like so. I'm grab some more. Remember these tops of the trees here. All right, and we'll come on in here a little bit, just like that. it'll gradually get darker as I move it on down. I'm just gonna fill it in a little bit where it needs to be and still keep that. I'll do it like that. But let's go on to the other side. We'll continue this love fest here. I want my tree to kind of swing out that way, and then come up around in here like this. Come up, back like that. It gets a little solid back here though. Grabbing some more of that color, and we'll kind of play around in here. Just up in there like this. And we'll bring some of that downward. Don't worry, if your green gets into the rocks, don't fret. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Obviously, I need more, so grab that yellow, grab some black, grab more yellow, stir it right in there. Get it pretty deep. I'll crunch up this sponge a little bit, and it gets pretty solid down here. But I'm still going to keep the pouncing and all of that. Like I say, it's fairly solid down in here. But it's going to be a gradual. It gets fairly, like I say, really solid down below here. All right. But as you see, I'm pouncing. I'm not wiping this across. Fairly deep foliage down in here. It just loosens up and opens up as you get towards the top. Much like that. All right, don't worry about things like this. It's going to be covered with rocks anyway, so don't fret. Hashtag do not panic. We're all right here. Pull that out a little bit. I may have wanted it probably a little taller up in here, so let's fill that in a little bit more, like that. Okay. All right, I think that's cool. That'll work. That'll work more or less. All right. So I'll clean off the sponge here. It's good to see you guys. Sure, Bruce, go ahead and panic, but I'll find out that you're panicking anyway, because one, you just wrote it down, and two, I can tell by your voice. But sure, you're more than free to panic. Hyperventilate, eyes roll up in the back of your head, the whole 9 yards. Because if you're gonna panic, you might as well go the whole distance. Let's get a palette knife. I'll get a small one here, and we'll get a little bit of black. We'll put it in here. We'll get a little bit of white craft paint stuff here. We're painting with craft paint. Okay. So we got some greenish gray happening here. It's all right. Once again, it is craft paint. The only thing that's Grumbacher or the thick heavy body paint was the yellow. That even the yellow is not the most grand of yellow. This is pretty fairly thin. We'll just kind of pop in some tree trunks in here like this. Maybe a couple at the top up here. So I kind of pop them in there real quick like. Sometimes it just takes a little dot or whatever. Pop some this way, that way. I'm not really necessarily going right to the very bottom on some of these. Don't have to. Put it out there very thin, a little swipe across, put some in there, just kind of willy-nilly. Okay. Just a little line to do. And we'll kind of pop some up in here. A little swipe across. We'll have one come in that way. Maybe one that way. Just little bits here and there. All right. Okay. As I'm looking and checking it out and looking some more and looking. And once again, it's a very simple painting to do. Okay. And once again, it is craft paint. As you can see, it's dry. All right. It is dry. It's just craft paint and water. All right. Okay. So I can pretty much do the same thing I normally do with craft paint. You just got to know what you can and can't do with craft paint, because craft paint is really thin. All right. Yeah, right. You did type in the word panic. Yes, Jessica, do not panic. Just remember the formula, okay? As you can see for the rocks, and you know, I do the general block. I block in the shape. Even for the water, I just block it in. The waterfall, I just block it in. Okay, even for the trees, all right. Even you see the patterns and everything, still it's all blocked in. Okay, that's it. Taco Thursday. Interesting. Let us make, let's make some more, let's make some more green. We'll just use, I don't know, we got the gray here. That's all right. I'll just put the yellow on top of the gray. No big deal. I will mix it with the palette knife. A little bit of black in with this yellow. Okay. And it makes green, as you can see. Yes, black and yellow does make green. How much green you want all depends on how much yellow you put in with the black, or how little black you put in with the yellow. All depends. Okay, how much of it you want. It kind of makes an olive green, a little more pleasant though. Okay. And once again, this is very thin paint. All right, so when you apply this stuff, it's not a very heavy, not heavy pressure using it. All right. Now, up to you if you want to use a sponge to do the plants, or you want to use or the foliage. You can use a sponge. You can use a brush of your choosing. It's truly up to you how you want to do it. All right. Let's take this 1-inch super thick brush that I can't show you who made the brush, because you know certain company likes to sue, but everybody knows what brush this is. All right. We'll just take the corner of this brush. I'll just hit the corner here. That's why I made so much of this. So just the corner of the brush. All right. I kind of tap it in there pretty good. And we'll go and we'll just kind of pop in. See this? And we'll kind of make some nice little choices on where you want to put some of this stuff. Now, I know that you might not see it too well because it kind of closely resembles what we have. All right, but that is also the purpose of doing this, because you do it in layers. The more layers you add, the more real they will become. Okay. And once again, you don't want to really cover up all of that sky color. You know, bring some pretty low. All right. We'll get it brighter for highlights. Don't worry. I'm still using just the corner. Just the corner of the brush. And interesting little patterns here and there. I'll turn the brush around. I'm reversing the angle of the brush. Just like that. Come up here, add a few. still the corner of the brush. I just switched the angle of the brush. Something like so. Okay, I'll get a little bit of, I'll use a little touch of white and put it in there. Be careful when you use black and yellow mix. I know it makes green, but if you have to be careful, because once you mix white into it, it has a tendency to go a little grayish on you. All right, just a heads up on that. And once again, very light touch, because this is very thin paint. And you put it on where you want highlights to kind of appear. All right. I'm not going to do every single one. Okay. I'm going to turn the brush around. Now the brush is kind of aimed toward my left. Okay. I'll come down here with a few. Bring some of that way. Bring some in here. Come out this way a little bit. Just like that. Grab some more. I'm flipping the brush back the other way. I'm just using the corner of the brush. And I'm going to keep using just the corner of the brush. A light touch. Okay, out here toward the bottom a little bit. Aim some of that downward. Bring a few up here. Give it a couple of them up in there. Like so. Get some more. And once again, I'm touching this very, very lightly. Just like that. I don't really have to inundate it with a bunch of, if you see recurring patterns, just go in and change some of those up a little bit. It's all right. All right, I think we're pretty good. You still see some of the trunks there. All right, so we're good. We really are. We're pretty good there. All right. If you would like, up to you, because I see where I can add a little bit of color in there. Not too much. I'll take a little bit of this dark blue. I'm like, once again, just use the corner of the brush. I'll come over here and kind of put it into the bristles a little bit. And maybe I want to add some cute little blue things in there like this. And maybe up in here a little bit. All right. Maybe some blue things up in here like that. Just a little bit of color. That's all. I'm gonna turn the brush around and I'll add some blue stuff in here. When I find it getting a little harder to manipulate, I'll get some more blue. And still concentrate on just the corner of the brush. Just like that. Up to you. You don't necessarily have to do it. I'll put some down below here. I'll pick some up here. Just like that. Just here and there, little spots. Okay. I don't really want to go too crazy with the colors, but I think a little bit of blue, a little change for something kind of orangey or reddish or whatever. So I'll put a little bit of blue in there. All right. Okay. All right. Boy, you guys are making all sorts of little inventions with your tacos. All right. So as we are working on this, we'll take a I guess we'll take a fan brush, and we'll start to do the waterfall here. Once again, this is craft paint. Craft paint dries ridiculously fast here. All right, we'll take this blue first, just regular blue. Once again, no glycerin won't be needed for that. A little bit of water, but no glycerin. We'll loosen up this paint just a little bit. And once again, we'll do the water also in layers. Okay, so we got this gray, purple looking stuff here. And we'll start adding the flow of the water. We'll start from the top, and you kind of go inward and go downward. All right, like a little curve there. Go on the other side, go downward. Now remember, craft paint is a little thin. You're gonna have to work with it a little bit more. In the middle, it's usually pretty straight going down in there. Okay, I'm not gonna get rid of all that background back there. Just grab a little bit more. And this is how you pretty much work with craft paint, because it is thin. And this is just the water underneath. Okay, going straight down there, much like that. All right, we'll take a little bit of white. We'll take a little bit of white. I read it, Jessica, because when it buzzes like that, it tells me what you've written. Just take it easy. I'm just adding a little bit of water to it. And obviously it lightens the value a little bit. All depends where you want your light source at. That can come later, or you can do it right now. All right. And once again, as you do it, look at this. Okay. And right now, it's just the path of the water that I'm really concerned about right now. Obviously, in the center is straight down. I'll turn the brush around. It would behoove you to go in one direction when you do this. Okay. And you see it gives a sense of movement also. This is not the final highlight color. More or less the second to the final, but not the final highlight color. I'll keep it like that. I kind of like that. Let's take a little bit of white on the corner of the brush. And we'll add some like just the corner of the brush, and we'll add little rushing things down there like this. And you're just tapping and going up. You can have some of it join, especially toward the middle, wherever you really want this impact to be up in there. And of course that knife or that brush just hit the ground. Actually, that's not actually me being clumsy. I mean, it is, but it's actually some condition thing that's going on with me, that I just drop stuff out of my hand. When I go to the doctor, I would have to tell them about that. But that happens more often than you think. It just falls right out of my hand. So I know that's something with me going on. It's happened before. So, because when it happened and I didn't really know that it happened, it was more of an annoyance, and I treated it like an annoyance. But I know that it's something going on with me it's happening more often. So, but anyway, that's what's happening with me. We'll go with the final highlight, which is more white than anything else. Okay. I'll add a slight touch of water Let's get some more white out, because I wanted more white. It's got blue, but I wanted more white than anything. And you go up toward the top, and this is where you really want it to kind of hit there, really toward the top. Bring it down a little bit. It's going to get the heaviest in the middle. Now this is wet on dry, because there's no glycerin, there's no medium in here to make anything really flow. Okay, but here at the top, obviously at the very top, you want to mark it to let people know that this is the top of the waterfall in there. Bring some of it downward. Now remember when I told you we'll be going back over that black? Okay, and we will be going back over the, hey, how are you, Travel Dreamer? What did that brush do to you? I think it's just jealous because I give some other brushes more screen time. My chair is about 4 feet off the ground, so I'm not going to scoop down and get that brush. It's just going to have to sit there and, just sit there. Okay, now let's get, well, I use a smaller brush. It's just a longer bristled 1/2 inch brush. Okay, we'll go back into the black here. And now that I put the water in, we get to, once again, reform those rocks. Now, when you put the rocks into the water like that, it brings that waterfall back. You see this? See, the waterfall instantly goes back now. Just that quick. Okay. Same thing here. And bring some of that rock out there in front of the waterfall just a little bit. And it sets the waterfall back. Don't worry about nothing like that, because it's going to be covered with foam and things like that. All right. Okay. And that's really all I have to do pretty much with, as far as the rocks are concerned. We can play around with a few of the waves or some of the foam from the waves. I really should get this brush. Oh, it's right beside me. Okay, let's see if I can do this without tipping over. This is where having long arms is a benefit. Okay, just rinse this off pretty good here. Okay, so I got my brush back. Really simple way to do some waves for those of you who are a little intimidated by painting waves or any type of water current, stuff like that. We'll take, I guess for this painting, because I'm on kind of a time limit here, it's already 5:15, so we'll just use white. All right, and what I'm going to do is just cause a little foam to happen here, and it's just you hold your brush dead center and give it a little tap. See that? I'll do it here too. See the little taps here? Okay. You get them a little higher and you kind of wave it around a little bit to get that foam going. That's like this. All right. It's going to hit up against the rocks a little bit up here. I'm not really too concerned with the actual rocks themselves. We'll be going back over it a little. Okay. And it comes out to the side a little bit. All right. Like I said, we're not going to go really overboard with it yet because I got to put the rock patterns in there. All right. Then you can kind of play around with some of the waves in here. You get a few of them, then you just line it out like this. So it's thick in the middle, but it comes into a nice little line. Just get a line here, and then you just kind of thicken it up in the middle, and it kind of gets a little thin on you, like that. You put them where you wish. Just turbulent water here, like so. All right, okay. You don't have to totally use white. That's white's the final color for the frothiness of the wave. Okay. All right. Let's play with these rocks up here. Now, what I am going to do, because it's such thin paint, let's clean up this. Let me think for a second. I might be able to still use and salvage that green. We'll just make it really gray. So we'll kind of scrape up this stuff here. Get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of this. So let's clean this up. Now, I really don't want to waste all of that green, okay? And black and yellow made what you're looking at here. Okay, so we'll get a little bit more black. We'll put it right into that green. Kind of a strange way to make a rock color, I know, but it'll happen, trust me. And this is, once again, it is craft paint. Craft paint, for the method of rocks we're doing, is way too thin. Okay, now we get a little bit of white in that odd mix. And what's gonna happen, it's gonna turn like a weird, kind of a greeny gray, and it's okay. But as you can see, it's going to give you that kind of that rock color I was talking about. Now, once again, this paint is incredibly thin, so we're going to need a little something to beef that color up here. And this is where your modeling paste will come in. Okay. For the next half hour, you're going to try to be an adult. Kind of a stretch, isn't it? So we get a chunk of, where you guys see it here, you get a chunk of modeling paste and you put it right in there, just like that. I'm gonna close this. With modeling paste, you definitely have to close the lid quick and close it all the way. It does harden, and it is a bear, okay, to try to get that softened back up again. And you just put it right in here. Now, modeling paste does not change the paint in any fashion. It doesn't make it lighter, it doesn't make it darker. But as you can see, it thickens up the paint, as you can see, okay? The more you use it, the thicker the paint gets, the more of it you get also, okay? But here you go, okay? And you can add other colors to it or what have you, all right? But there it is, a nice batch of it there, okay? All right, now I can establish my, 20 minutes seems about fair. Now I'm not going to necessarily use this palette knife for the rocks, for this painting. We're going to use the other method that involves this palette knife. And I think you guys see me do this before with this this style of painting. One, it takes plenty of paint. Okay, and you see that I'm tapping into the paint, which gives me that texture that I talk about. See that texture there? Okay, I'll put it up here. You guys should be able to see it when the light hits it right. You can see that texture that's happening with it there. All right, we'll zoom in here. And we'll slide it right about here. Now this pattern of rock texture is kind of omnidirectional. You can either do it this way, you can do it this way, whatever you feel comfortable doing. All right, whatever whatever fits for you. And what you do really is just tap, and it's almost like a tap and drag at the same time. But you just kind of tap, and you can pretty much hear yourself doing it. But you can see, and get scrape some of that there, the pattern that it starts to take when you do it. Just like so. Okay, I love the way they look. But it does take plenty of paint to do this. Alright, for that texture. Alright, and you just keep on going with the flow with it. Like I said, they're omnidirectional. Whatever pattern, whatever way you feel comfortable in doing it, then you do it. You don't have to do every single one. You can pattern it any way you wish. You can go up with it. Whatever whatever you see in your mind, that's the pattern you want to go, then that's the pattern you do. Okay. And because of the nature of the rock pattern, it makes very interesting deep gullies and crevices. Okay. You can really mold and design your rocks the way you see fit. Okay. You follow me? I can have it kind of curve around. I can turn it this way and kind of curve it there. And so you can have it dark or lit any way you want. I'll have this one kind of curve upward like that. Any way you want. All right, but it's almost fail-safe. There's no way you can mess this up, really. And once again, this is wet on dry. All right. I kind of like this method of wet on dry when making textured rocks like this. I figured somebody would kind of see that. I could have played up on that. It's kind of a subconscious thing. I don't really mean to do that, but yeah, I noticed it myself. What kind of? Well, I'm framing this part here. That's a rock face there. I'll keep it like this. It's pretty interesting. Okay, let's move over here. But yes, it does look like a face there. Okay, let's put it over here, and we're gonna get some more. Get that pattern going. All right. And we'll go from, well, it's actually way up here, so we'll kind of tap some in this direction. I'll go like that. I'll kind of round it off. I'll just kind of go in a semicircle like that. Just like that. Because you don't necessarily have to always go in a straight line. You can roll them. I mean, however tight the roll you want, you know. Really up to you. And it depends on how much paint you use. I'll go kind of straight down with this one. Just like that. All sorts of interesting patterns. Oh Lord. Nice. I don't know how they do it and how they mess with the algorithm to find out the people who, you know, but it is something they're doing to key in on people, because it's such a kind of a specialized thing that we're doing. So there's a way that they're doing that. I haven't really looked into how they're keying in on people like that, but I think it does have something to do with the algorithm, though, to why they key on certain people. Once again, I'm filling out, I'm framing a rock that's in front of everything else. So this is almost like a lost and found method. The rock, well, I mean, we're right at the edge, so let's pull this down a little bit and you guys can see that a little bit better. But you can see it here. All right, but there is a pattern of a rock there. And so basically I'm just framing that pattern out there. The other one I framed the same way on the other side. We'll get a little something right here. And we'll kind of give it a little something cute right up in there. And it's really, to be honest with you, just really about it. Now we can do some really neat looking highlights to that. All right, we'll just take a little bit of white. Like I said, you can put whatever color you want to put in here. We'll just kind of tap it in there like that. Okay, same pattern. I don't have to have like a ton of this stuff to do it. Feel bad for Sylvia, she has to go through all of that. I don't know why people are just so miserable that they have to keep doing that to other people, you know, sharing their misery. Okay, so we'll highlight little bits, especially up on the top here. And now let me show you something about doing it in this way. Whoops. For one, you have texture in here, okay, already. This will provide that texture. I got to be careful because some of this paint obviously is on pretty thick, so it's not entirely dry. Hey Sylvia, how are you? Sylvie there, whose name I can't pronounce, but it should be, I think it's Messi. All right, but she does very beautiful flowers, either palette knife or brush. And you can check her page out. And so with this texture here, you don't necessarily have to tap on the texture. All you gotta do, basically, really simple, is just slide it right across. Look at this, look. If you almost make a child game out of this, okay? Wherever you need the highlights to be, that's where you put them, just like that. I can come around here like this, see, and curve it around like that. And what's happening, that as a certain Afro artist would say, the page would take what it wants and give you the rest back. Well, that's really true. Comically said by him, but he's actually right. Okay. And whatever, see, I'll kind of go this way with it, out here, right here, and right here it gives a curve. And I'm just sliding the palette knife back and forth. All right. And you can really guide where you want your highlights to be on this. Okay. So it's hard to explain how simple it is to do this stage of it. And you can build on it and build on it and build on it as much as you want. Okay. All right, let's go this way. Over here. Okay, let's get a little bit more of this. I did not need too much of the highlight color. The brighter you have your subject for a highlight, the less of it you really need. All right, for an impact. If anything, I will highlight the top part. If anything, the top part, and going by the falls here, you should get a strong highlight. And then after that, it's pretty much where you want the sun to hit. You know, if you wanted to hit around the corner, up to you. Let's do a little bit right in here. I'm angling right towards the water in there. Just like that. Not so much back here, but a little more up toward the front. If I can get a little more, I'm gonna kind of bridge that. right here. It's just a line of paint right here. So I kind of maybe put the chalk and the sand right here with that little line there. Yeah, I'll keep it there. Bring that out a little bit here. Like that. All right, now let's pull back and I'll show you here. Pull back. Is Big Boy laying over there? No, he's not laying over there. All right, and we'll pop the focus on real quick here. There. All right, now you pretty much see what's going on here. Hey. Oh, that's not her. Well, thank you, Sylvie. I appreciate it. So now we have our two rocks in the front here. Okay. Actually, let me pull this upward. Let's get this out the way. All right, now bring this back. Just like that. I'll zoom in a little bit here. All right. So we have the two rocks here in the front. Either I can really highlight them or I can keep them somewhat in a darkened state. Okay, just to show that they're pretty much in the foreground. And we're going to go. Thank you, Rosemary. Actually, that was a Christmas special. The only person that was a member of the church was the woman, the short, light-skinned woman. That's the only one that's the member of the church, and the bass player. If we've seen a video with me at the piano and the bass player right beside me, they're both members of the church. The bass player doesn't actually play at the church. He's a member, but he doesn't play at the church. We have another bass player. He's actually a college professor. He teaches music theory, and the bass guitar is his main instrument. That's Dr. Michael Woods there. Really nice guy. Awesome fellow. Really nice guy. So I'm taking a little bit of this gray and I'm adding that blue in it. Okay. And we'll just do some bluish gray texture right in here. You guys should be able to see this. And we're going to kind of whip it around in there like that. Now what helps this out is, once again, I hope you guys can see that. I don't know if it's becoming blurry on you guys or not over there. I have to check that out. But what actually helps this out, there. I'll keep it like that. I'm looking at the TV to see if it's still in focus. Get a little bit more of that blue. Get a little touch of this gray. Put it in there. There we go. I'll highlight a little bit of it, but not like you would think, because I still want to keep it in the foreground, still keep it somewhat dark. And we'll come over here on the other side and we'll kind of tap on a little bit of love there, right up in here, just like so. We're going to take some white right into that color. Okay, just like that. All right, not too much, but I am going to highlight, as you can see, just enough of it to show that it is in front. We got a little bit of a framing right there, just like that. We'll come on the other side, we'll do the same deal right here. I'm just sliding it across. Once again, just more or less to frame the rock there. Okay. But we did that video at a large, I think it is a large Catholic church, one of the older churches in Utica. Yes, Hamilton College, Dr. Woods. That's exactly right. Yep, that's the guy. Yep, Dr. Michael Woods, Hamilton College. Exactly. Yep, that's him. Yes, I've known him for many moons. Yeah. But you are correct, Bruce. That is he. Now, I still want a little bit more separation for those two rocks in the front, so I will take white. This is where the white will come in, but very sparingly. Very sparingly. And I will take it and I will just kind of lightly, very lightly, just kind of add a little bit of highlight, and I mean a little bit. I'm just really playing around with it here. Just in the front, a little bit. Oh yeah, he's got a little more than that now. I have some of his work, actually. We're gonna do the same thing here, but yeah. Just like that. Once again, I just want to highlight it to know that they're in the front there. All right, and that's all you really need to know, that they're in front. Okay. All right. Let's adjust this focus again to really get you guys to see it. Every time I add more to a piece, the camera doesn't catch it like our natural eyes can catch it. So that's why you get, what you're looking at there. All right. Now, I could highlight bits of this up here if I wanted to. I don't really think it needs it, but I can do it to bring it out a little further to separate that. I don't need too much to do that. Even this light gray would do it. Okay, Jessica, are you still in here? How are you feeling? Just a little. I don't want too much, so I'll just do like a little touch in there. I don't want it overly done. Okay, maybe a little bit up here, just a little bit. Just a touch. Of course, you guys don't see that because I just there, but just a little, just to frame it a little bit, just to bring it out in the front, just a little. Okay. I don't need no more than that. Now, if I did something that's a little bit strong or a little bit heavy, I can go with the black and go back over it again and bring that back, as you can see. Okay, so nothing really stops me because I can always return it back to where I want it before. Okay, very easy to do so. I can take some of this same black and come back here if I want a little more of a separation between this rock and the rock in the back. All right, once again, lost and found type of thing, and you just kind of put a little gap in there. All right, between those two, using the same method. Just tap it in there right at the edge and go upward and put it in with the previous spot of black. Once it dries, you'll never know you really changed it or changed anything. Okay, I can do the same thing on the other side. Let's slide you over here. Do the same thing on the other side. If it's not quite clear of what's happening there, then you just kind of, you make it meet into what you got that's black over there anyway, and just bring it down. And you're just making really a little buffer in between your area, just to cause a little separation there. Really not too bad. Once again, once you let it dry, all that shine will go away. You'll never know, really. Okay. All right. And trust me, guys, believe it or not, believe it or not, we're about done with this. Let's bring this up here like that. All right. Actually, we're going to make that disappear in a couple seconds, really. Because I think I don't have any reason to add anything else. I think we're pretty much good here. Okay. Okay. All right. I see you. All right. I was wondering. I was concerned. Okay. Alrighty. I'm checking things over. We can make, now once again, I know it looks like a lot here. All right, well, that makes it look, you know, obviously it makes it look like a lot. I think what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to show you something. I'm not going to totally waste this because I really hate to have to waste that. So we'll come back to this. We'll make it disappear. I won't just get rid of all of that. Okay. We're going to have to pull back a little bit with this. Let's bring it down so you guys can see pretty much the majority of this thing. I always got to play with it a little bit. I think we're good there. Once again, hit the focus real quick. Put everything back in focus. Let me put my name in here. This is, once again, just water and craft paint. All right. I don't know if this will do, but it's going to do today. We'll put it right here in this corner. Now, I do have a paint marker. I should just utilize the paint marker, really. I got a couple of them that can easily do what I'm doing right now. I think I just like the line weight of the end. I'm so used to doing it with a paintbrush. We have to make it a fraction. There, like that. About 20 cents in paint. Right? All right, we'll peel this off here and see what we got. Now the board that I have, the foam board that I have is warped. It was warped from the store, so it's not entirely flat. But that's all right. One, if you put it in a frame, you'll never tell anyway. Usually if I do a commission, and if they usually ask for it, I'll actually put whatever I'm going to do on a canvas board or canvas. I won't necessarily do it on the foam board. But this is it. That's what she looks like. Okay. That's what she looks like. All right. It probably looks a little bit better if I didn't have such harsh light on it, because once again, that light really hitting it on it from that side. But very, very, very simple painting. You can see the depth in the rocks, because that's what that dark does for you. All right. Now, interesting enough, the gray that was used wasn't necessarily black and white. It was that green, gray, and added more black in it than white, which gives us that type of gray. The gray in the front is a little bit bluish. Okay, gray. All right, but it's different varieties of gray, which are both neutral colors. But now, because we used black to make the gray, that's why the black isn't as harsh, because you got a neutral color that's very close to it, because you use that color to make the outside colors. So there's still a little bit of color harmony there, even though it's black. Okay. All right. And once again, I rarely use black like this anymore. But for the sake of time and just to show examples of whatever, I can use it and everything, but you know, I choose not to really. It's more challenging just to make colors just as close to black and then incorporate that, because it's more gentle on the eyes. Okay, this black isn't as jarring because I used corresponding colors that used black in it to get the corresponding color, so it's not as jarring, and it fits the overall tone of the painting. Okay, so thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Vermont. So basically it's just a flat palette knife and plenty of paint to use it, you know, to apply it. Okay, I have a lot of paint there. I'll keep you guys hooked to me, the wire's long enough. Oh, let me, you know what, let's see, that's plenty of paint too, so let me just use something a little larger. I do have, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I do have something a little larger. Let's see if we can fill it up with this. Once again, the batch of our foam board that I got was bent. The whole sheet was bent, so, but it is foam board. You guys never really seen it, but there's a little Elmer's glue foam board. 20 by 30 by 3 and well, by 3/16, which is just the thickness of it. All right, but as light as can be. The sheet of paper I'm using is just Grumbacher 140 pound watercolor paper. That's all I'm using. Okay. 98% of this painting is already dried. I'm going to take the tape. Here, let me flip this around. So you guys get to pretty much see. It's just circle tape there. 2-inch wide tape. I'll just pop one here. Pop one here. Pop one here on the corner. You guys don't see it down below. Pop one here on the corner. As far as this painting is concerned, I'll just put it over here where nothing happened to it. I'll just set it over there. All right, I'll just take this guy. We'll put it somewhere in camera range here. I'll just keep it like this. Don't necessarily mean I'm gonna keep the painting like this, but just for right now. As you can see, it keeps lifting up on me. Let's bring it out a little bit, center it a little for us. I think we're good here. That's cool. All right. Okay. Let's use nah, we'll just stick with this. Because once again, I really don't know what I'm going to do with it. So, well, at least I get to show you guys exactly how I do this. The backboard. You know, she wasn't joking either. That's the scary thing. She was not kidding. She wasn't kidding at all. This is 1-inch tape. I only used a half of it. Now, once again, because I also fold the tip up on the beginning of it there. But because of it being warped when I got it from the store, I'll just simply work with it. It's all right. It's not really interfering with the way I paint or anything. So, but I only use half of the tape. Okay. Try to keep it as even as possible. All right. If it comes apart or you know, from the corners, whatever, it's all right. I'll just, you know, use it accordingly, because I'm just accustomed to it. When, you know, certain things don't go awry, just accept, adapt, and move on. No big deal. Okay, no big deal. Like I said, I try to keep it, even though it's 1-inch tape, I just try to keep a 1/2-inch border around it. Pretty much eyeball what I'm doing now. I'm used to folding the end of the tape so I can easily lift it off. It's just muscle memory. I'm just used to doing it, really. What time is it? 5:50. Okay, I got a little bit of time. All right. So much like that. Okay. That's it. Just that. Now, once again, I do not want to get rid of the tape I don't want to get rid of the paint that you guys see down there. All right, so what am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to really press this tape here, and I'll just make some kind of crazy pattern with it. I don't necessarily have to use a paintbrush to do it. I mean, I could, I don't know, I'll just use some paper towel or something. I'll just make some kind of weird, crazy pattern with it. So I'll just take the paper towel, fold it. Who knows what I'll do. All right, we'll take some of this black here. Okay, and we'll just kind of wipe it across like that. Who cares? Like that. Take the blue and do the same thing with the blue. Pop it in there. Doesn't matter. If it's a little bit light, you lighten it up with some white. Like that. We got that gray stuff. That gooey gray stuff. I'll pop it in there. All in the bottom. Go in that direction. Take some white and streak it across. Don't matter. Some more black. Put it around here. Go up that way like that. All right. We'll narrow some of this down. We'll get some blue and white mix. And we'll kind of pop it in there like this. Who knows what I'll do with this when I'm done with it. Get some more. Just kind of slather it down there. Like that. Who knows what I'm going to do with this. Get some more of that gray, get some more of that black, and we'll kind of come up here and seal all of that. Got a little batch of crap right there. Rub that in there like that. Like so. Alright. I say, who knows what I'll do with it. Oh, this is rubbing alcohol. That's not what I want. I don't want the rubbing alcohol. I'll pop the water in there. Just see what happens. If it spills through. Let's see what it does with that. It's gonna leak all over my stuff, but I'll try to get it quickly. And once again, we'll just kind of rub it out that way. Come up this way with it. And it's just water. Nothing big. Pop it this way, so we'll get some interesting angles this way. So as I'm doing it, I'm starting to see a little something already, but who knows? Who knows? It's starting to dry already. This fast, it's starting to dry, but you already see movement in that. Okay. Yeah, I know. And you know, the sad thing is, she probably doesn't even want the front cleaned. Like I say, this thing's probably almost bulletproof. It's got so much wax and paint on it. Okay, but there we go. Just, who knows what I'm going to do with that. Don't know. I have no clue what I'm going to do with that. Let's take a little bit of, I really got some watery apple barrel white paint. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Nighttime sky and a Christmas tree. Yep, I don't think so. Believe it or not, I'm not really the most Christmassy individual on the planet. Probably the older I get, the more humbug I get. But you know, let's do something. Let's take, we're gonna make a mess. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take some of this apple barrel white paint, and I'm going to take, we'll take a fan brush. Take a nice glob of it. And we're gonna kind of come up here. You gotta have enough of it poured on there so when I do what I do with it, it's on top of the tape, so. But once again, I gotta have enough of it so we can do it. Let's take, is this water? Yes. So we'll take some water. Go pretty close here. And let that happen. Now it's already made a path, so all I gotta do is really just spray the water. It's just gonna go along that same path it already previously made. Just like that. Just like that. And just let it keep going. Yuck. It's tripping over my stuff. But I knew it was gonna, I knew it was gonna do it, so. But that's all right, no big deal. I just wipe it away. Just like that. Now obviously, gravity, of course, is gonna spill over your stuff. Of course. But it's all right. It's okay. It ought to be pretty interesting. Once again, I got a 1/2 inch of tape as a buffer so I can just wipe the stuff away, no big deal. Don't know what I'll do with it yet. Even though I just did that, I still don't know what I want to do with it. But we'll do something. Just don't know what yet. But I just wanted to use up the rest of the paint, so. Just like that. And just let it dry. More or less. I'll use some more here. Because like I say, who knows what I'm going to do with this? No one knows. Who knows? I'll just keep it on this side. There. Pop it here. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll do something with it. Just like that. That's one very scary storm if the lightning hit like that, Jessica. I'm going into my black. I'm not gonna pour it on the palette because I don't need that much of it like that. But I am gonna just take a little bit of black on my brush. Get some water here. Just water it down a little bit. A little thicker than I would normally use. And just come on this side. If I was smart, I would cover up my tablet because we know how reckless a certain individual can be. So I'll just cover the tablet a little bit. All right, come over here and we're gonna add some love right here in this corner. Get some more. And pop some of that love right in there. I'm doing it a little heavier than I would normally do because of well, you know, I'm not really trying to cover or block anything, so I'm just pretty much going for what I know with it. But make it at least be seen so it can match a little bit of with that white. But I'm only keeping it really on one side. Okay, like I say, who knows what I'm going to do with this. But I am going to just let it dry, leave it alone. Okay, and see what happens. Now, if I added rubbing alcohol to this, it would make a very interesting pattern, because rubbing alcohol kind of separates this stuff, and it would look kind of odd, depending on the level of how wet the water is, and how wet the paint is. It would look kind of weird. So I don't know how much of this is going to. I don't think I have enough rubbing alcohol to make a difference, because I don't think it's starting to dry up. So we'll see what happens here. But if it's gonna catch anything wet, you'll see what's gonna happen with it as I do it. But it's really following the same path as the water itself. So if there's anything that's still wet in there, it's going to change. Okay. So I'll make a stripe right down there, and we'll just see what happens. Now remember, rubbing alcohol evaporates also. So while it's trailing down doing all this foolishness, it's also evaporating as it's going down. Okay. So this is my weird make no sense abstract moment. I don't have too many of these. Okay, but as you can see down here, you see that rubbing alcohol does, it wipes it right away, straight away. Okay, so if I took this and went right across it, it would wipe all of that away. And now that would look weird. Okay. So, all right, still checking it out. Now, I wouldn't mind really taking this tape off right about now, but there's no way I'm gonna do that, because it's still running. It is still moving and running, so I won't do that. Now, I don't know how much of this tape is gonna block what I've done, actually. So we have to be kind of careful. Especially down here on the bottom, where it's still pretty much moving down here. But basically, I just did not want to waste a lot of that tape, so. All right, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. As far as I know, I got rehearsal at 7 o'clock. It's just now 6, a little bit after 6 o'clock, so we'll see. Now, I can take the tape off and then let whatever happen, because I can just color the border black, and that really wouldn't bother me much at all, to be honest with you. So, I think I'll take the tape off. Because like I say, whatever happens, happens. My primary goal was really just to use up this tape, or use up this paint. That was my primary thing. But as you can see, once I get rid of the messy border, this is gonna fall. That I can tell by the way it's acting. I don't think it's gonna stay up there. Nope, it's not gonna stay. Well, it might. It's just one part of it that keeps falling. No, it's gonna fall. Let me just take it off right now. And it's not too bad. Let me get another whoops. Let me just get another let me just aim it downward here. All right, anyway, that's what it's looking like so far. Now, of course, I can take it and just put it upside down. It'll be dry by the time, I mean, it's not gonna reverse and just drip because it's all down here. It'll be dry by the time all of that happens. Let's hit the focus real quick. All right, but so we got something very interesting now that I just mixed all those colors, well, the colors I got left, and just mixed it together. Okay. So, but I'm just reading the text here. Like I said, I got to get ready to get up out of here pretty soon anyway. Oh, you like the upside down direction? Yeah, I do too. A little different. But once again, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. Who knows? You know, I'll think about it later. I'm not going to think about it now because I know I got to get up out of here. So, all right, we had company come in, so that's why I'm quiet. But anyway, I got to see. I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's about it, guys. So I'll take a picture of what I just did. I got time enough to do that. Take a picture of what I just did, make a thumbnail of it, post the picture on YouTube/Instagram, and all of that stuff. Okay, that's that, because I know I got to get ready to get up out of here. You guys take care. Thanks very much. And if I don't see you or hear from you, enjoy your holiday and all that good stuff. All right, guys. I shall see you when I see you.